G'day folks, welcome to another little video. We have just come back from down in the Great Southern area. We're down at Peaceful Bay. Down here at Peaceful Bay, Great Southern area, Western Australia. Been here for four nights. Yeah, not filming it, not filming the trip. Already done a video down here a couple of years ago. I'll put that up in the corner, this corner. You can watch that now. But I've got a few new little things on the car and a few little different camping things that I've picked up in the last few months, so kind of trying them out, testing them, giving them their first run now that we're through all the silly season and back into camping a bit more. One of the big ones is the awning, getting that out, using that camping, and in the wind as well, in the wind and the weather. We've had some diabolical weather yesterday, so I got to try it out in that. Lots of wind, a bit of rain. Yeah, had an absolutely stunning time down there. Always do. That's our fourth, I can't remember, time down there. It's becoming one of my, well, from the very start it was already one of my very favourite places down there to go. I know it's the caravan park and whatnot, and it still does get pretty busy, but just the area you're in, it's just all about the location for me down there. There's 4-wheel drive tracks to do and drive along that beach, and it's just got a real cool little feel about it down there. We just love being down there. So we got in yesterday, and I'm just in the process of pulling down the car, just kind of unpacking and getting everything sorted. And I have done a few extra new little things to the car, a couple of little new camp things as well, that I thought it would be a good opportunity to run through a few of them, because some of the things we have just used through this week trip. I've had a couple of camps in the last couple of months, and then just this big one obviously with Kelly. So a few of these changes I've made, I've been using them a bit, so I thought I would use the opportunity to just mention them and new bits and pieces that are going on with the car and the setup. We do have the tent that we use when we're away for probably more than a couple of nights, rather than the swag, just because the tent's a bit roomier, it's a bit comfier, and especially down there in that southwest area, you can get 4 seasons almost in a couple of days, or even one day sometimes. So having the tent, it's a lot more waterproof, it's a bit more durable in the wind and the weather, and just find it to be a lot better. But we had been using a Wanderer, self-inflatable big Wanderer mattress, which had been quite, it's comfy, but man, it's a pain in the ass to set up. It's so big and bulky, so I wanted to address that issue. So I ended up getting a really nice Xped, it's called. This is it here, Xped Megamat Duo. Yeah, this thing's phenomenal. I actually bought this back in crikey, I think it was October last year, and this was the first chance we actually had to get it out and use it, and it's, oh man, I'm wrapped with it. folds down super compact. Here's the size of it folded up, and remember this is a double size mattress. Yeah, it has a little pump in there. You can I won't bother pulling that out and showing you. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, and if you want to look at it, just go find it online. That'll show you what it's all about. But it's a little pump. You can use with your hand or with your foot when it's laying on the ground, and oh man, it's just a dream. Just so good. So I'm really stoked with that purchase. It wasn't cheap though. It was about I got it in a deal with a bed sheet for it as well, a fitted sheet. I think delivered, all of that was about $500, so it's not the cheapest. But when I think of the comparison, like here's the size of the Big Wanderer. It's huge. So when I think of the size of that compared to the size of that, it's worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. Another thing, I bought myself a Helinox chair. Now I've found people either absolutely love these or they absolutely hate them. There's no middle ground. I haven't met one person that goes, oh yeah they're alright. They've either blatantly said nah, can't stand them, or they absolutely love them. I absolutely love it. I reckon it's wicked. The reason I bought it is because I was fiddling around with the back a little bit. Obviously you would have seen I had my old director chair and it had a table on the side, and I'd put it up into this side here next to the tables and whatnot, but I wanted to make a little bit more room. It was quite bulky, and even though I had a spot for it, it still was quite bulky, and it was taking up some space that I was trying to use a little bit better. So I thought, I knew these chairs were quite compact, and I had sat in them before, both in the shop, because I got this from Go Camping as well. I've sat in them in the shop and quite liked it when I first tried it, and then I've sat in them around camp with mates who have had them out at camp, and it was just a matter of time for me to get the funds together, I suppose, because they're not cheap. I think I paid, it was around $270 or $280, so they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. Played around with things. Basically what I wanted to do was be able to slip the fire pit in that side there rather than where I had it up against the fridge cage, because I wanted to use the fridge cage to hang some more stuff, which I'll get into as well, because there's a bit of space there that I am now able to use to hang things on that now. You know, I'm just trying to organise things a little bit better, you know. So I pulled that director chair out. I've given myself more room now in here to slide in the fire pit, and there's a couple other things in there as well. Made a bit of more room here and there from being able to do that. So the chair was part of that process, but I also really like it. It's a really comfy chair, and that opinion is going to be completely subjective to other people, which I'm 100% aware of and happy with. You can hate the thing. If you've tried them and you hate them, you think they're absolute garbage, that's fine. For those of us that do love them, yeah, I'm a big fan now myself. I think the payoff for the size, and then I think it's comfortable. I'm very happy sitting in it, and I just spent 5-6 days away in it. Yeah, I'm wrapped. I think it's great. I got myself a little footrest. I lean back, put my feet up. I'm comfy as. So yeah, I really rate it. This is it here. You just unfold it all, and yeah, it's a bit like an octopus. It's got legs going everywhere. So you put all that in together, and yeah, away you go. I think it's good. One thing with them, yeah, one thing with them is you've got to be very careful of them in the wind and around a fire. At night, I will just lean it against the car. It's less likely for the wind to pick it up, because that's how lightweight they are. Got to just be aware of that. Peg it down. Az threw in a little peg and a cord for me to tie it down and pin it to the ground. Because they're that light, the wind will just a breeze, not even the wind, just a breeze will pick it up and blow it over. So be aware of that. But yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Another little addition that has picked up a lot of interest is this little door caddy, window caddy, whatever you might want to call it, or organiser, something like that. It's from a little company called Off-Road Affiliate. I just found him on Instagram, started following me, I followed him, and I thought it was just another page, just another four-wheel drive page. Then I realised he actually had some stuff that he was selling. One of them was this, and I saw this in a photo that he posted on another person's car, and I was like, oh, it got my attention immediately. So I got hold of him, and I think I went on his store and I bought one. It was about $130, I think, from memory. And it's got Velcro, so that's Velcro stitched to the back of it, and then it's supplied with a double-sided Velcro to stick on your window, and then that sticks to that. One thing I will say is that didn't last at all. That Velcro that it came with, the glue on that goes onto the window, just failed immediately. It got my first little trip I did with it was out in the wheat belt before summer, and the days were just warm. They were just balmy days, and it was already failing. It was sitting in the sun, and the glue was starting to melt, and the whole thing was just falling straight off the window. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass. So I went to Bunnings and I bought some really nice heavy duty stuff. 2 seconds. I bought this. So take a mental note or a screenshot of that. Now I'll put that onto the window. Obviously I can't put it onto the product itself because it's stitched on there, but the Velcro on this sticks perfectly to that, and this has a lot stronger, heavier duty glue, which so far hasn't failed. It's stuck on there like nails to the glass. So if you're interested in getting one, before you even attempt to put it on the window, swap it out for some heavy duty Velcro, double-sided Velcro, because yeah, it just failed immediately, and the slightest sniff of our WA heat over here, it couldn't hack it. But yeah, how good is it? Look at that. Everything's up there. It's a little bit, but that's fine. I don't hear it. It's not an issue. It's not hurting the glass or anything. It's just a little bit saggy. I've actually probably loaded it up a little more than you maybe should. Put a big knife in there, and there's a bit more weight on it. That might also have contributed to why the glue failed on the glass as well, just that extra bit of weight. But yeah, I reckon it's awesome. So I mentioned that I had sort of done some things here. I had the fire pit leaning up on here, the Red Roads fire pit. Was fine, but it was a bit heavy on the cage. It wasn't really wrapped with it sitting there, and the inverter was there, so it was over the inverter. I didn't so much like that being covered when I'm using it charging cameras and stuff, so I wanted to move it, which then also gave me this whole area to put some things, because I had these buried down in under a whole pile of stuff. They were like under the yaks and under all sorts of stuff down in there under the floor, which I thought in a first aid situation, it's kind of the last place that you want your first aid kits to be stuck in. I didn't think that was really practical, really a good sensible spot for them. So I've put them here where they're just hooked on with little carabines, and they're ready to go. Yeah, just like that. Like I can just heaven forbid they need to be used. This is a snake kit. Got that from Luke from Drifter. I got this one from Kelly. Kelly bought it for me, that's right. That was a present. So they're there, ready to go, nice and accessible. You can't not see them. Something happens and someone's not familiar with the car, and I'm relying on them to go to get the first aid kit. I can say, they're in the back, go to the back left door, you can't miss them. They're on the fridge cage. Like, it's, yeah. I don't need to tell them that they're buried in under a whole pile of stuff in the back. So I reckon that's been a smart move. And then I ended up buying myself a little PLB, because I've been wanting to get one of them for quite a while. So I finally ended up getting one, and I think that's not a bad little spot for that there either. It's not in the sun, it's out of the way. Same with all these, you know, they're not sitting in direct sunlight. The air's around them, not getting too hot. So my little PLB, yeah, finally ended up getting one of these, which is good. Been wanting one for quite a while now. Yeah, there you go. Bought a nice little case for it, so that's there ready to go as well. Heaven forbid, you know. But as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm starting to take this sort of stuff a little more seriously now. I don't know, I suppose it just comes with age. Just mature a bit maybe, and yeah, quite a nice unit, that one. Now, I've always been a big fan of Uniden. However, I put one of the top of the line Unidens in this thing when I bought it. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. The volume was garbage. Absolute garbage. I had the unit where it was all in there. Mouthpiece, or the microphone. So I had a speaker in the microphone, and then I had a speaker down the unit as well. It possibly may have been mounted a little bit too far under the dash to have really had a presence, I don't know, but there was nothing from the mouthpiece. It just couldn't go loud enough. It just didn't have the guts. So I was pretty disappointed. So I finally pulled that out, sold it, and I've gone with an XRS. I've got the GME XRS 370C. So good. Oh man, like, and I don't want to completely crap on Uniden, because I've used them before and I do like them, but maybe just, I don't know, this one. Yeah, anyway, I ended up with this beautiful little unit here. Yeah, what a beast. These are so good. Admittedly, it wasn't cheap. Not cheap at all, but I'm glad I got it. I'm really glad. It's very easy to use, very easy. Got the magnetic back on it, so it just straight onto the dash like that. Speaker's incredible. Speaker's phenomenal. I can be driving along 100 k's with the windows down and I can hear it. It's, yeah, phenomenal. So I'm glad I ended up getting that. And I went with the big 6.6 heavy duty aerial that they got. The thing's a monster. It's huge. But I went with that because I do a lot of flat driving, especially out in the wheat belt and that. And I do like the signal to carry a little bit further. I have never ever had an issue here in WA. We're quite flat here, even when you get up into the Darling Range and that. We're quite flat, and I've not ever had an issue with one of my 6.6 aerials or antennas and not picking up someone. So I just went with that, because I'm going to get far much more use out of it being a 6.6 out on the flat roads than I will with a 3, say a 3.2, I think it is. Another thing I got was this little, at the same time I picked up a little 5-watt handheld. I've been wanting to get one of these for quite a while, just because, there we go, channel 40, yeah, neat little unit this one. Another little GME piece, 5-watt, really nice little radio. And I bought a cradle with it. I've just screwed the cradle straight to the dash, so I can slot that straight in there, and then that can go into a 12-volt plug just like so. Charge that whenever I need to. Yeah, it's all pretty good, man. So I've got all GME all through the car now, all three, and I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, good gear, good Aussie gear. I'm happy to pay the extra bucks to have that good quality Aussie gear. Unit is Japanese, I think. Like I say, I've always rated Uniden, but just in this case I was severely disappointed, so I thought, bugger it, let's just go all GME. Pretty simple. Another reason I ended up getting this was because Kelly, if she's filming, if she's out of the car running around out of the car with a camera, she can take this, just quickly switch it on. I'm already on the channel, and then I can communicate to her what I want her to do with the radio, or if she's a little bit away from the car, she ends up in a bit of strife, she can contact me. Just very, very handy and sensible communication, sensible and safe. Like I said before, I'm becoming a lot more aware of safety now. One thing that kind of, I don't want to say inspired me, because that might be the wrong word, but made me think about it a lot more was Shad Donahue's video. He was out with his wife, and they were deep in the bush. She ended up having quite a big fall while she was running cameras, and she broke her ankle. So that for me was like, wow, just like that, you know, something just as simple as walking down a hill with a camera can just turn into a pretty dire, chaotic situation, and it can be made a lot worse if you can't communicate. So having something like this where I can just give it to Kelly if she's off with the camera somewhere, or even if she's, you know, if she's wandering off to the toilet, so we're in a depot camp or something, and she's going to the loo late at night, it's a bit of a walk, it's just a little bit more safety, you know. Something happens, you just never know. So yeah, just quick safe communication. Well, I'm sweating bullets, it's bloody hot, it's about 34 degrees, it's humid as hell, and there's a breeze of about 4 k's, I think it is, so I'm sweating my bollocks off. It's friggin' warm. I tell you what, it was a lot nicer down in Peaceful Bay. I wish I was there still. Oh, you get that. Got to get back to work this week, make some more money so I can go and do it again. Yeah, thanks for bearing with me through these couple of months here where it's a bit quiet, the camping side. Once the weather's cooling down, fire bans are lifted, the rain starts to come back, I'll be back out in the regular programming and getting out camping and hopefully filming a lot more meaningful videos. I don't enjoy filming this sort of stuff, but I do because I like to share little updates and things that's been going on, things that I'm doing, and it's nice to touch in with you guys. And you know, I read all the comments, I interact with everyone as much as I possibly can that's watching the videos and commenting, and I enjoy that. So make sure you say good day and let me know what you think of all this stuff. Tell me if you like or hate those chairs. I'm quite curious. Those chairs always seem to stir up a fair bit of spirited conversation, I found. Like I said, people either love them or they absolutely hate them. So let me know what you think of those chairs. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you soon.